Before we delve into the current diplomatic tug-of-war between India and the Maldives, it's essential to comprehend the bedrock of their relationship. The ties between India and the Maldives can be traced back to ancient times, when Indian traders frequently visited the Maldivian islands, bringing with them their culture, religion, and language. This bond further strengthened in the post-colonial era, with India being one of the first countries to recognize the Maldives after its independence in 1965. Over the years, the relationship has seen its fair share of highs and lows. There have been periods of close cooperation, marked by significant economic aid and defense support from India, but also times of tension, often fueled by the Maldives' attempts to balance its relationship with India and other global powers. An interesting aspect of the Maldives' political landscape is a cyclical pattern of government that often alternates between pro-India and anti-India stances, adding yet another layer to the complexities of this relationship. From these historical ties and alternating political patterns, we can glean that the relationship between these nations is far from simple. It's a delicate dance of diplomacy where every move is calculated and every reaction has far-reaching implications. As we delve deeper, bear in mind this historical context and the oscillating political climate, as it sets the stage for understanding the complexities of the current diplomatic standoff between India and the Maldives. So up as we unravel this intriguing saga of geopolitics, strategic interests, and fluctuating allegiances. A paradise of pristine beaches and clear turquoise waters, the Maldives is not just a dream vacation spot. It's a country that shares a complex relationship with its giant neighbor India. However, recently this relationship has been strained. The controversy was sparked by the Prime Minister's visit to the archipelago of Lakshadweep, an Indian island territory. The Prime Minister's social media posts commending the Indian beaches ignited an unexpected reaction from the Maldives, a country recognized for its own amazing beaches. 3 Maldivian deputy ministers took their social media platforms to make adverse comments about India and the Prime Minister, exacerbating the already strained relationship. This unforeseen backlash attracted the attention of both countries and the international community, triggering a wave of controversy. But why would a mere visit to an island territory such a reaction? The answer lies in the labyrinth of regional politics and the historical ties between India and the Maldives. The Maldives' response was perceived as an assertion of its own regional significance and a challenge to India's influence. This seemingly trivial incident ignited a diplomatic standoff. Yet there's more to this story than what initially appears. This was not just a row over social media posts or a visit to a beach. The underlying currents of geopolitics, strategic interests, and shifting alliances are all at play. The spark of controversy set the stage for a potentially larger fallout. Following the Maldivian minister's inflammatory comments, India lodged a protest, resulting in the suspension of the 3 ministers. The repercussions of this decision were immediate and far-reaching. The ministers' remarks had deeply offended the Indian public, igniting outrage and leading to the viral hashtag Boycott Maldives. This social media protest wasn't merely a show of solidarity with the Indian government. It dealt a direct blow to Maldives' tourism industry, which depends significantly on Indian tourists. The potential economic impact of an Indian boycott could be significant, highlighting the interdependence of the 2 nations. The suspension of the Maldivian government was interpreted as a necessary step to contain the damage. However, it also unearthed a Pandora's box of diplomatic conflicts. The controversy rapidly transcended the political boundaries of the 2 countries, captivating international observers and turning the spotlight on the volatile dynamics of the Indo-Pacific region. The suspension of the ministers signified more than just disciplining errant officials. It was a clear indication of the Maldivian government's attempt to mend its strained ties with India amid President Muitsu's anti-India sentiments. However, the move also fueled debates about the freedom of expression and the state of democracy in the Maldives. The incident served as a stark reminder of the ripple effect a single spark can have on diplomatic relations and how it can also stir public sentiments. The minister's suspension was significant. It merely marked the start of a series of diplomatic dances, especially in the face of President Muitsu's controversial campaign. In the midst of the controversy, the Maldivian president embarked on a state visit to China, a move that raised eyebrows in India. But what role does China play in this geopolitical puzzle? China's involvement in the affairs of the Maldives is reportedly quite extensive. Let's explore. The Maldives, a cluster of islands in the Indian Ocean, may appear small, but its geopolitical importance is far from insignificant. Strategically situated at the heart of the Indian Ocean, it controls a crucial maritime route that connects the east and the west. This makes it a valuable pearl in what is often referred to as the string of pearls, a strategy attributed to China to a stronghold in the Indian Ocean region through strategic investments and alliances. The geopolitical importance of the Maldives hasn't escaped China's notice. Beijing has steadily expanded its influence in the island nation through significant infrastructure projects and economic aid. This growing presence of China in the Maldives has complicated the traditionally close India-Maldives relationship. China's increasing influence in the Indo-Pacific region has been a cause for concern for India. While India has been a crucial source of support and assistance for the Maldives, the dynamics of this relationship have been under strain due to China's assertive moves. The Maldivian president's visit to China amidst the controversy was seen as a clear indication of this shifting dynamic. The two countries agreed to elevate their relations during this visit, a move that was perceived as coming at India's expense. This visit signaled a potential shift in the Maldives' foreign policy, one that could be less India-centric and more open to diversifying its international alliances. It has been suggested that the visit to China signaled a potential shift in the Maldives' foreign policy, but the biggest shock was yet to come. The Maldives, under the guidance of its new president, Mohamed Muizzu, formally demanded the withdrawal of Indian troops by the 15th of March. This decision further exacerbated the tension between the two nations. But why did the Maldives insist on the withdrawal of Indian troops? The explanation can be found in the complex dynamics of geopolitics and the aspirations of the Maldivian government for independent foreign policy. President Mohamed Muizzu of the Maldives, who rose to power with a pledge to diminish India's influence in the country and to return Indian soldiers home, seemed to be fulfilling his promise. It was considered as a move towards reaffirming the Maldives' sovereignty. But it wasn't an isolated occurrence. It was in fact the culmination of a series of incidents negatively affected the relationship between the two countries. The Maldives' call for troop withdrawal was also viewed as an attempt to redefine its relationship with India. The Maldivian government, under President Muizzu, was explicit about its aspiration for a more independent foreign policy, one that isn't overly reliant on a single nation. This shift was evident in its call for troop withdrawal. Was also observable during President Muizzu's state trip to China, which introduced another level of complexity to the situation. The visit and the ensuing decision to enhance Maldives-China relations were regarded by many as a clear sign of the Maldives' aim to diversify its foreign policy options and reduce its dependence on India. Many experts have expressed their worries about this strong stance against India. There is speculation among some analysts that this could be driven by Islamist hardliners within the country, advocating for a more independent foreign policy. Despite the undeniable dependence of the Maldives on India for food, infrastructure, and healthcare, the discontent among some Maldivians towards what they perceive as India's overbearing presence is also conspicuous. The request for troop withdrawal marked a significant shift in the India-Maldives relationship. The question now is, where do these two countries go from here? With tensions high and the future uncertain, the relationship between India and the Maldives stands at a crossroads. But what does the future hold for these two nations? As we navigate this diplomatic labyrinth, we must consider the potential ramifications of this ongoing dispute. The economic impact could be significant if Indian citizens choose to boycott the Maldives as a tourist destination in response to the controversy. This could deal a heavy blow to the Maldivian economy, which draws a substantial portion of its revenue from tourism. Moreover, the diplomatic repercussions will hinge on how officials from both countries handle the dispute. Based on recent political developments, a new path may be forming. The change in leadership in the Maldives reflects a desire for greater independence and a diversification of foreign policy options. However, new diplomatic engagements hint towards a possible rapprochement. A series of high-level visits between the two countries signal a renewed willingness to engage and rebuild the trust that was once damaged. Yet, how India responds to this shift will be critical in shaping the future trajectory of their relationship. It's crucial to remember that the Maldives depends on India for food, infrastructure, and healthcare. Consequently, any deterioration in relations could have profound implications for the island nation. On the other hand, India, being a regional power, has its own stakes in maintaining a stable relationship with the Maldives. The strategic significance of the Maldives, especially in the context of China's increasing presence in the Indo-Pacific region, cannot be overlooked. To navigate these choppy waters, both nations may need to recalibrate their approach. For India, this might mean revisiting its neighborhood-first policy and considering how it can better address the concerns of its smaller neighbors. The Maldives, too, will need to strike a balance between asserting its independence and maintaining its essential as we move forward. It's evident that the road ahead for India and the Maldives is fraught with challenges. Yet, through addressing these challenges and leveraging the recent positive political developments, opportunities for growth and stronger bilateral ties can emerge. As the clock ticks towards the 15th of March deadline, the world watches with bated breath. Only time will tell how this new chapter in the India-Maldives saga unfolds. In the midst of the ongoing diplomatic turmoil between India and the Maldives, a compelling hypothesis surfaces. Could Lakshadweep, a picturesque archipelago nestled off India's southwestern coast, evolve to be the new Maldives? With its untouched beaches, vivid coral reefs, and an abundance of marine life, Lakshadweep mirrors Maldives' natural allure. Yet, this Indian archipelago remains an undiscovered treasure and an underdeveloped tourist spot. In the context of the current India-Maldives political row, the potential of Lakshadweep to attract tourist traffic away from the Maldives has become a key element in the strategic chess game. This potential transformation could only uplift Lakshadweep's local economy, but also help India keep the tourism revenue within its borders. However, turning Lakshadweep into a tourism magnet like the Maldives won't be a walk in the park. From environmental to socio-economic aspects, there are myriad factors to weigh. Preserving the island's delicate ecosystem while developing tourism-friendly infrastructure will be a major challenge. Local communities, primarily reliant on fishing, may need to adjust to the tourism boom, and the government would need to ensure that Lakshadweep's development is both inclusive and sustainable. Amid simmering India-Maldives controversy, Lakshadweep's fate as a potential tourist sensation remains uncertain. Time will reveal if this Indian archipelago can rival the charm of the Maldives and how the shift could potentially impact the ongoing diplomatic standoff. Should the Maldives decide to sever ties with India, the implications could be far-reaching. After all, India has been a perfect neighbor in many respects. Economically speaking, India is one of the Maldives' largest contributors, especially in the realms of tourism and trade. A severance of relations could lead to a significant dip in these economic sectors, causing a ripple effect Maldivian economy. Furthermore, recent political developments suggest that the Maldives stands to lose a crucial mediator and aid provider in times of political crisis if it severs ties with India. Strategically, India's geographical proximity and historical ties make it a valuable ally for the Maldives. The loss of such a neighbor could weaken the Maldives' standing in the region and could place it in a precarious position given the rising tensions in the South Asian political landscape. Turning away from an ally like India could lead to international isolation for the Maldives, further exacerbating the potential losses and could leave the Maldives vulnerable to political pressures. The Maldives' decision could have far-reaching consequences. As the saying goes, a bird in hand is worth two in the bush. The Maldives may want to consider this adage as it navigates these choppy diplomatic waters and assesses the potential political fallout. In a pivotal moment amidst the current diplomatic tension, a noteworthy meeting transpired. India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar had a significant encounter with Maldives' Foreign Minister Musa Zamir. The meeting between these two influential figures was characterized as a frank conversation. providing a transparent look into the complex dynamics of the India-Maldives relationship. It has been suggested that this high-level interaction holds potential to be a crucial step towards dissolving the existing conflict. Both countries are reportedly maneuvering through challenging domain with caution and a diplomatic approach. The subsequent course of their relationship remains uncertain. Yet this meeting serves as a testament to the consistent efforts being made to repair the strain. As we continue to monitor the situation, we harbor hope that this diplomatic discourse will facilitate both nations in discovering a pathway that honors their shared past, mutual interests, and the desire for regional stability.